Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 25th day of November 2025. Our next meeting will be in December. It will be, I believe, December 3rd. Okay, a week from tomorrow. We'll be back on a regular Wednesday schedule. One thing that I didn't get going up there, let me see if I can find it over here. Hold on a sec. Alright, so the thing that I was looking for that I couldn't find, this is the Wednesday totals. So I just wanted to make this available to you guys and show you, since we started doing these meetings on Wednesdays, on May 5th this year, I think we've done one every week except the 1 week I took off during the summer. I think I've done one every week since then. So that's 29 weeks that I've done them, and we're up $131,425. That's with 10 contracts. With one contract, it'd be $13,142. With a micro, with one contract, it'd be $13,142. With a micro, it'd be $1,300. Okay, any of those are enough to pay for the annual. With one contract, it's enough to pay for the annual for a decade. Just wanted to point that out. Alright, that's over 29 days. And the majority of the trades in this session, actually, they usually happen toward the end of the session. Okay, today I'm going to trade 3 to 4 different trade setups, all based on the scalp tool. And maybe one other thing I'm going to show you right now. Jim P, are you watching right now? Hey John, I'm doing alright. Alright, so we're back to this. Let me move that down. The new swing trade logic. That's something that I'm working on with one of our fellow guys out in Dublin, actually. Jim P, you're not commenting like you're watching or anything like that, but I'll just assume you were. Just a second ago, there was a short trade right here. That's what this means. When it goes up like that, you sell the open of the next bar. Okay, I have the scalp tool set to scalp. Okay, I have the scalp tool set to fade, and I have the scalp tool set to be reversal clean, and this one down here is a display all. So I have all 4 versions of the scalp tool showing right here. Now, you are here. Okay. I'm going to show one other thing really quick. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Okay. If you ignore this stuff down here for a second, this uses the swing trade, right? The swing trade tool. But you only want to take the arrows that are outside the bands. That one, that one, that one, that one. You only want to take the arrows outside the bands. Okay, something I'm working on. And with this, you get notified ahead of time before the arrow happens, and you just have to pay attention. If the arrow is going to be outside the band, that would be where you take the trade. So you get notified way ahead of time. Okay, really, really simple tool. Now that's built on the swing trade thing and some other stuff. But Jim P, I told Jim P I was going to show him something. That, there. Okay, back in here. Now, so we have the 4 different types of looks that you can have with the scalp tool. All right. Right here, the thing that we have closest right now to a trade setup, there's no fade here. If this were to give a down close and the black were to turn up, this is using the scalp portion right here. What this does is the line actually turns in the direction that you want to trade on the next bar. Alright, after you get an up close, if it turns down, you want to take a short. Like over here, if it gives a down close and this turns up, you want to buy. Okay, that's how the scalp part of it works. This is the fade part. Now it all started out with the fade part. Alright, and with the fade, what you're looking for is like this right here. If it fades like this, as you get an up close, it shows weakness, you sell the open of the next bar. And over here, you get a down close and it shows weakness, you buy the open of the next bar. That's not a really good example of it, but this is probably a better one down here. It shows weakness and you buy the open of the next bar. Up here it shows weakness and you sell the open of the next bar. Okay, over here it shows weakness and you buy the open of the next bar. Over here it shows weakness and it buys the open of the next bar. Okay, that's how the fade works. Now, we started out with the fade and there was a little ambiguity in there, but a lot of people built setups around it, so I didn't want to get rid of their setups. So then I created this that removed the ambiguity because this actually goes in the direction that you want it to go on, and up close it goes down right here. So you know to sell the open of the next bar. Okay, and over here right now, what we did with this is obvious, the clean one like that, you're going to sell right now. Crap, you're going to sell right now. If I can find my DOM, there, you're going to sell right now, and I just did. Alright. Oh crap, I sold the NQ instead of the S. Hang on. There, okay. I am getting out of the NQ right now. I'll move my stop to break even on it. Alright, just move my stop to break even on that, and I entered on the NQ instead of the S max, and it went to plus 4 ticks. The ES right now, this is the ES trade. Alright, I just sold the ES right over here. And we got out with 4 ticks on the accidental NQ trade right there. So I sold the ES based on this right here. Now my entry should have been at 59 and a half, and I'm in at 59 and a quarter. That's not a bad entry right there. Okay, how do I define weakness? Okay, Larry, let me show you that. All right, let me make sure this window is on top. It is. Okay. So we're short here right now. We're waiting for that to go. Well, this is a 7 range. So after it goes 4 ticks in profit, the stop should go to break even on it right now. Okay, and it just did. All right, so we're going to lock in a little bit of profit on this right now and lock in 2 ticks. That's $250 for me with 10 contracts on. Okay. Weakness is, well, the weakness is when it does a fade like this. Okay, I'm going to lock in a full point on that. Now I'm going to lock in 2 full points. That's $1,000 for me right there. Okay, so let me put that in the Wednesday thing. Hang on, here it is. And today is 11/25, and so far we have 8 yes ticks. And I gotta put that back in the right place. Let me get rid of these other ones that I am likely to accidentally click on. Okay, so 8 ticks right now. Let me copy this and paste it right here. Right, so that was our first trade on the ES. It was right here. This right here said to sell the open of that bar. So I did. I sold the open of that bar. Okay. The question was, for the fade, how do you define weakness? When it moves to the side like that, when the slope or the angle changes, and I actually have something in here that shows the angle. Okay, right here, the angle. You see how the angle actually increases right there? From there to there, the angle increases. That's what it's looking for. As it crosses over, I think it crosses over the 90 is what I'm looking for, maybe the 85. When it crosses over the 85 and the angle changes like that, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so when that happens, you sell the open of the next bar. Right here, when that happens, you sell the open of the next bar. Okay, down here it's a little more obscure down here. It's not as easy to see down here, but you had the same thing. And you look over here at the angle right there. You see the angle actually increases right there. I know it's a negative number, but it's a smaller negative number. And so you would buy the open of that bar when that happens. Okay. That's how you define the weakness. And because there's some ambiguity in that, you might not even see this weakness right here. You might not even see that. What I did with this is I made it actually go in the opposite direction. Now these are different time frames and these are different markets actually, but I made it actually go in the opposite direction. So instead of defining weakness on a down close, which is what this would have done, if I put the fade on with this right here. Okay, I guess that one didn't actually define weakness. But instead of defining weakness, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me undo that. Okay, go back here. I made it actually go in the other direction, like right here. I made it turn on the down close. I made it turn right there. Where it was going to define weakness before, I actually made it make the turn. So you don't have that ambiguity in there anymore. Okay, you can actually see what's going on. Okay. Alright, so right now on this, I took off the red portion of this. In here it's called inverse. Okay. So you can kind of see when you might get a trade setup. When everything's on one side like this, you might have a trade setup coming. If everything's mixed up like this, you're not going to have a trade setup coming. Okay, but if everything is on one side, like this is right here, then there's a chance, like it is right now. There's a chance that the next bar could give you a trade setup right now. Okay. That's what the full display shows you. It gives you a little bit of a lead time into the trade. This is just going to happen when the trade triggers, when everything comes together the right way here, which could happen on a down close right now. It gives you the indication here, or a little bit of a lead time to let you know that it might happen on the down close. Okay, with everything being up above like that, the next bar down could be the one that gives this right here on the downside, with the blue saying to buy it. Okay. So do you see this one right here? Using the scalp tool, that said to buy at the open of that bar right there. I should put on the arrows, shouldn't I? Here, let me put on, I have the lines and the arrows on there for them too. Okay, well that one, it didn't meet some requirement, so that wasn't actually it. This is the last one that actually met the requirement right there. Yes, I have arrows and lines for all this stuff too. You can, all these tools, you can put either arrows or lines on there if you want to. Just put arrows on there. And put lines on this one. So this actually just gave a shorting opportunity right here. It said to sell that. And what is that? The NQ. It said to sell the NQ at the open of this bar right here. Is what this said right here. Okay. So the one trade that we took so far was this one right here. And we took some profit on that. He takes profit on that one right there. I'm going to make that green so it's not the same as what I do normally in the morning. It would be easier for you to follow and compare if I had all on the same ES and tick sizes. Okay, well I can do that. I can, here, let me, since the DOM is set for a 7 range, let me flip this to a 7 range. Okay, now I'm not going to put the NQ on a 7 range, that would be crazy. But I'll put this on a 7 range so we can follow along. As a matter of fact, I can swap these over too. I can make this one be the ES 7 range again. Okay, I'll make that an ES 7 range. I'll make this the NQ. Z 47 range. Okay, so the NQZ 47 range just gave a long trade here a minute ago using this tool. Alright, it didn't give it on this one, but now I've just switched the tools around because I switched the symbols around. Okay, so the NQ's actually got a long trade from right here. Now I think it's already gone enough to get the stop to break even. Probably from 61 it ran up to 60, just about 66. That's 4 points. The 47 range it has to go. I think it's going to go 20 ticks to move the stop to break even, but I don't have the DOM set up for a 47 range, so I should probably set that up for a 47 range right now. Hang on. Let me go here and the DOM is set up for a 39 range. You know, let's let this trade play out here. Okay, because I did take it, and my stop has gone to break even. No, it's gone to +4. Okay, it just took me out with a +4. So I'm going to switch this to be a 39 range. That's what I was using in the morning session. Okay, so we'll go here and add. That's not the right thing. Oops. Who's in here? This guy. Add 4 more ticks there, and 1 more trade. 2 trades. Okay. Alright. So, how's that? There's a 50 tick ATM for the On the NQ, what I try to use, Greg, is a multiple of 4 minus 1, because there are 4 ticks in a point. So when I look at it, I can say, okay, well, from the top to the bottom, if I want to put a buy stop limit order on ahead of time, or sell stop limit order on ahead of time, then all I have to do is depending what it is, like a 39 range, I use 10 points from the top or bottom of the bar to put the order on ahead of time. And on the 7 range, it's 2 points from the top or bottom of the bar. Right, on either one of these 7 ranges, it's 2 points from the top or bottom of the bar, where I put the order on ahead of time. Okay. And do I ever experience slippage? Oh yeah, I do, Brad. I experienced a ton of slippage, especially this morning with 10 contracts on this morning. I stopped trading gold because we rolled gold over today. I stopped trading it because it had a 4-tick spread in it, and it was trading really, really thin. And this morning, I had on the NQ my first couple of trades. My very first trade was a 4-tick trade, but the first couple of trades after that they should have been 50-tick trades, and one of them was 30-something ticks, one of them was 40-something ticks, but it was big slippage. I don't have that one on risk management on the website. The 47 range, yeah, it's 12 points. I just use the same as the 50 on that one, Greg. The same as the 50. Okay, yeah, so I use the 50-tick ATM for the 47 range. Okay, and right now for the 39 range, I'm using actually the 31. So this says to sell the NQ right there, right? And that is the NQ. I moved it over there to that side. That's it to sell the NQ, and I just did. Here it is. Okay. And so that's got to go, I think, 16 ticks into profit before it bumps it. There it is, and it bumped it to +4. So I have that set to bump to break even +4 ticks. That's given me a lot of +4s today, actually. The NQ hasn't had a whole lot of follow through today. So I have quite a few +4 trades today. And the markets have been a challenge this week. The 2 days that we've had this week so far, they've been a challenge. Yesterday I got my butt whooped with the gold, I think, right? Yesterday I was down 38 ticks in gold yesterday. I didn't even trade it today because it was rollover. But it happens some days, Some days you eat the bear, and some days the bear eats you. Most days I eat the bear, though. But you see, that was a short right there, and we just took that and we got 4 ticks profit on it, following the risk management strategy. Now I have the risk management strategy on, not for a 39 range. I have the risk management strategy on for a 31 range. So I know on the what Greg had just said is not on this page, but on this page, on the home page of this, right here. Man, I just thought of something. Well, on the home page of this, I have the risk management stuff right here. So I don't have a 39 on here. So I'm using the 31 that's got a 36 tick stop that goes to break even after 16 ticks. It actually goes to break even +4 after 16 ticks. And for the 47 range, I'm using the 50. It has a 60 tick stop that trails to break even after 20 ticks in profit with a 75 tick target. Okay, for the 47 range, that's what I use. But right now, the other markets that I have on, I have the ES on the 7 range, right? It has a 10 tick stop, trails to break even after 4 ticks in profit with a 30 tick target. So actually, I think it might be a full 30 tick target on it. So we just have to wait for some more trades. Okay. Now, so far we've had 3 trades, right? Did I put that properly into the thing? I put a 3 on that. I did. Okay, 3 on that. And so it's setting up right now to give us another opportunity here. You see how everything's all on one side? So it's setting up to give us another opportunity. And this fade right here that actually did turn into a trade. I didn't even notice it. It did turn into a trade. I gotta put the arrows on. Put the arrows on. The arrows kind of jump out at me more than the lines. Okay, so the fade actually happened right there, and I didn't get that. Obviously. Alright. So, we have a really good group of people in here now. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Let me just one more time show you this little bit here. Okay. Now you can't combine this with anything else. It has to be just a swing trade by itself. Okay. When the arrow's all the way outside the bands, you take the trade. When it's all the way outside the bands, you take the trade. There's only a couple of them here. And the thing about this is it repaints. So right there it's all the way outside, you take that trade. Right there it's all the way outside, you take that trade. Trade, 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 trade. And that's it. But it's about to print one right here. On a down close right here, it's going to be all the way outside the bands, and you take that trade. That's on the NQ39 range. That would be a trade right there. This is something that I'm working on. I never stop working on things. So I know I'm introducing something to you that I finished working on Friday. And I know I'm showing you something else that's brand new. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek of other stuff that's going on in the background. Now, this did not turn into a trade because the black went too far right there. See, so that's why that did not turn into a trade. Same thing right there. The black went too far. If the black goes across that horizontal line that I have in there, if the black goes across the horizontal line, it's not going to be a trade. Yeah, no, the markets, even today, Greg, it wasn't easy trading today either. You know, I did pretty well today, but yesterday I had my worst day of the month yesterday. I had 437. That is like so much lower than everything else. The average on the month, it's 1/4 of what my average daily is on the month was yesterday. I just got to hand it to me yesterday. I mean, it happens. It happens. It happens to everyone. Even people who do this every single day for a living. Alright, so we're waiting for a trade setup now. Okay. Waiting for the trade setup. And that, I did actually take that trade from the swing trade thing because this wasn't going to give us a trade. So it hasn't gone to break even yet. But it's gonna. Oh, it's gonna go to plus 4 ticks in a second here. And this right here did not trigger. Alright. It didn't go low enough to trigger. It's going to do the fade. This is the fade right here. Gary, hang on. I'll answer your question in a minute. Can I explain the trigger for the clean scalp trade again? The clean scalp. For this one right here. If anybody has any questions and I didn't answer them. Okay, if anybody has any questions and I haven't answered your question, just copy and paste it in again, okay? Because the questions scroll up on a view on me. I'm not ignoring your question. I'll answer every single question, but they scroll up on a view on me. So if I miss them, like Carrie asked me a question a few minutes ago. Craig, you have access to it now. It's in the scalp tool. Alright, it's right here in the scalp tool. You have access to that now. I took the word beta off it, okay, because it's not really in beta anymore. I may put subtle changes in it now, but it's just going to be clean up stuff. That's how you gain access to the swing trade stuff. To this, it's got all four of these trade setups are within that one tool, okay? Do a video on using the Sierra DOM. I have a video for that, Philip. I'll show you how to get to it in a minute, okay? I still got to answer Carrie's question. Carrie, you asked me to explain the trigger for the clean scalp trade, okay? Well, the trigger is a different thing. You want to learn about this part of it, or this part of it. This is the clean scalp, right? So with this one, when it goes up like that, it has red, it says sell the open of the next bar. When it goes down like this and it's got blue, you buy the open of the next bar. Sell the open of the next bar, buy the open of the next bar. It's also got the arrows on it and stuff like that. But if you want me to explain this part down here, I can explain that to you too, Carrie. That's not the clean version. This is the clean version right here. But did you want to see either one of these either? I mean, as well, I should say. And Philip, using the Sierra DOM, or I have videos on all of it. Okay, Philip, you're in Telegram, right? explain the not clean version. Okay. Alright, I will show you. That's what I was going to ask you, because it's not really... No, you don't have the links. Okay, go to telegram.org and just follow the instructions to get Telegram. Let me just get your email address right here, okay? And let me just put your email address right over here. And I will see that you get access to all of the channels. But the one channel, you gotta have telegram.org to begin with. But there's this channel that is a public channel that I've been creating over the past, I don't know how long, but it's, I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, copy that. Done. Cancel. Okay, it's this one right here, and I created a whole bunch of videos in here, things that you can do. This is more stuff that I do in the morning session, but the videos, as far as the Sierra charts go and all that, any changes that I've had to make, like how to set up the trailing stops and all that stuff, it's all in here. Setting the auto break even, setting the trailing stops. There's videos in here that I've created determining if it's too far from the midpoint for a trade, and just a bunch of things in here. If you go and watch some of these videos. Alright, that's a public channel. I'll give it to you guys right now. That's in Telegram, and it's a public channel. So there is the link to it. Okay, you can all join that. No, I'm definitely not doing it from the TradingView. Mark. The question was, so I'm not making it from the TradingView, Dom. No, I really don't like that one. I mean, it's there, it's functional, but I really don't like it. It doesn't have... Crap, we should have been short right here on the ES. We should have been short right up there at the top on the ES. We should have been long over here a minute ago. We should have been short there a minute ago, so I missed two nice trades right there. But no, I don't make my trades from there, Mark. That goes to the question that you were asking the other day. You said you use NinjaTrader, right? You can trade on NinjaTrader, that's just fine. You don't have to trade on TradingView. I mean, I use TradingView just for charts. I don't use it for anything but charts. And most of the people that follow me only use it for charts. Okay? So keep your Ninja account and trade there. Alright, I feel like I missed a question, and I know I missed two really nice trades right there, so I'm going to try to keep my eye on the trades too. Carrie, the not clean one. I don't, but I mean, I have a bunch of people that have had success, that are having success in getting paychecks from them, Mark, but I don't use any. I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to use them. Alright, so I'm going to go over this right here. Alright, let me spread the... I'll slide these ES charts over here. Okay, I'll try to keep an eye on them and see if we get any trades off of them. But, this. Now, let me spread it out a little bit so I can really show you what's going on in here. Now, if I go in here and I take these things apart, right, we'll start out with the inverse thing. Right, now, that's inverse of what, right? When I went down this path a couple weeks ago, well, a couple months ago now, I showed you guys this, alright, and at that time I was using this as a line, alright, and I showed you guys this, and I showed you how oftentimes, you know, almost every time when you had divergence, it was giving you a trade setup. You know, if you had divergence like this right here, you would sell the open of the next bar, and if you had it like this, you would buy the open of the next bar. If you had it like that, you'd sell the open of the next bar. If you had it like, not that one, but that one, you'd buy the open of the next bar. Alright, that's what I was showing you. But there were a bunch of places in there. I mean, most of those places that I just showed you actually were conditions that where it got dragged out. This extra line right here, this extra bar right here got dragged out. So that means it went the right direction to begin with, but then ended up going in the opposite direction. This right here is ideal, but you don't know that it's like this until the end of the, until the bar closes, until you're here. You don't know that it's like that. Okay, so this is what I was trying to show you. And the thing that I was striving to do was to find some way to pick out when this happens and this, well, which one? And this right here where it extends right there does not happen. Okay, and so I created the black part of this. So this is where it starts, right? You're looking for the separation between these two. That's where it started. That's where it all started. Okay. Hang on, Paul, I'll answer your question in a minute, but yes is the answer, the quick answer. So this is how it started, right? I was looking at these divergences like this, and then it was brought to my attention that this happens quite a bit. And you can see right here, it happened 2 times right there, 3 times right there, 3 times in a row right there, that happened. And the trade still worked out, right? If you sold the open to that bar, you had enough room to get your stop to break even. If you had you would have a 39 stop. Well, you'd have in this case, a 36 tick stop or something like that. But if you sold the open of the next bar and this one, where was it? It was this one right here. You would have sold the open to the next bar right here. If you sold the open to this bar, it went down, 30 something ticks before it went up, and it did that stretch right there. And on this one right here, you wouldn't have done that one. This one right here, you would have sold the open of this bar, and that went from, we'll say 84 down to 78. That went 24 ticks before it went up. So you had opportunity to get your stop to break even, or even take profit in there if you wanted to. But I wanted to isolate those so that you get more of these and less of those. Okay. So Carrie, this is my answer to you. Okay. So in the cleanup, you do not wait for the line to turn. No, you don't wait for the line to turn down at all. You just wait for this to happen right here. Okay. What you're looking for now, I'm removing the inverse right now, and I'm putting in this. All right. So basically, what you're looking for is a scenario where it goes from this on one side to you don't really get a good view of it right here, but where the black stays between 0 and the purple, and the blue goes all the way up. All right. And on the flip side, where the black stays, see how it just came out just a tiny bit right there? The black stays between 0 and the purple, and the blue goes all the way down. That's what you're looking for. Okay. And that's what the arrows are telling you happened, and all that stuff. Like right here is one, right here is one, right here was one. You can't really tell when it's the big blob of black like that it happened that way. But if I make that, instead of an area, if I make it a line, then you can kind of tell that happened. Okay, right here is where it turned. But again, it's kind of ambiguous in there. So I created the arrows and stuff so it actually does it for you. So it removes the ambiguity. In the spots where you could screw it up, where it's not obvious. Like this is an obvious spot where it didn't make it. But if this one right here would have stretched out another bar over here, then it would have been just like this. All right. So you don't know that. You don't know that until it does it. So I put the arrows and the lines on there to help you see all that. Okay. Okay. We didn't get any more trades. I'm sorry that I missed those 2 really nice trades in there. So far we're doing okay. Knocking on wood. We're only half an hour into it. We still have another hour to go just about. But so far we're 3 for 3 on the trades. And the question that Paul asked was, on the swing trade, can you tell when it's going from gray to black? I think that's what you asked, right? Tell when it goes from, yeah, the gray to the black. Yeah, let me put the regular swing trade on. Okay, oops, I'm going to put the regular swing trade on, not the one I'm working on here. So the swing trade is actually the easiest tool that we have. All right, the swing trade is saying to go short here on the NQ. Now, the thing about the swing trade is you don't have to put anything else on. You don't have to have anything down here. You don't have to have any supporting things up here at all. All right. When you get a gray arrow that's pointing down, Paul, when you get a gray arrow that's pointing down, the gray arrow that's pointing down is going to be on a bar that closed at the top. All right. And it's saying the next bar, if the next bar closes at the bottom, every one of these says if the next bar closes at the bottom, then you're probably going to get a black arrow. All right, it's looking for the next down close. Whenever you have a gray arrow, it's saying look for the next down close. That's where you want to enter. All right, that's what it's telling you to do. If you have gray arrows going up, it's saying look for the next up close. All right, I know there's a series of them here that didn't work out very well, but but that's really all you're looking for. Okay, so you can put that, you can just drop that on any chart that you want, and you can put it on any time frame. I got it on the 39 range right here. Now the NQ is not really good on the 4 range, but you could put it on the 4 range if you wanted to. On like the ES, you know, the ES doesn't look so bad on the 4 range. Let's just flip to the ES really quick. Okay, now this is the ES on a 4 range. So on a 4 range, you know, you have, well, with this you probably have a 6 tick stop. I know in here it says an 8 tick stop, but with this is really looking right at the turn. With the other stuff, you're going with the trend. This isn't going with the trend. This is actually the beginning of it. So this is what it looks like on a 4 range. So Paul, all you would have to do is you get the gray arrow, you're looking for the next down close. You get the gray arrow, you're looking for the next up close. Get the gray arrow, you're looking for the next down close. Get the gray arrow, next down close. Okay, gray arrow, next down close, gray arrow, next down close, gray arrow, next up close, gray arrow, next up close. That's all you're looking for. Now the thing that I'm working on kind of helps clear some of those up. So it'll reduce the number of trades that you actually take. So if you have a full black arrow outside the band is what I'm working on. Okay, you take those. The ones that are inside the band, you leave alone. The ones that are outside the band, you take. Okay, that's what I'm working on. Oops. And that is going to be really cool when I finish it for you guys. I've been trading it myself, and you know, the trades that I've taken, I think I had one stop out in the last 2 days. Out of like probably 15 trades that I've taken using it. Okay, so I don't want to be on the 4 range. I mean 4 range ES. I'm going to go back to the NQ here. NQZ. Here we are. So this is to buy the open of the bar right there. Okay, that's what that said right there. See how the black just came down a little bit? It said to buy the open of that bar. Now I just bought it right here. Okay, I just jumped on it and bought it right here. So we'll see where this goes. Now, it suggests that it's going to continue up from here. And we'll see what it does. It hasn't done it yet. It hasn't bumped the stop, so it hasn't... I don't know if it went enough from the actual entry. At 35, it ran up to 38. So it was 12 ticks. So it's only gone 12 ticks into profit. The stop doesn't go to break even until 16 ticks into profit. So it still hasn't gone to the point where I would have moved the stop to break even. Okay, so I'm going to let this play out. Make sure that stays on top. And we'll come over here. We don't have any trades triggered in here. Let me slide this over here. Alright, so you see right here, carry. Right here, how do you stay clear of those times when the swing trade just doesn't seem to be working? Well, that's why I'm working on those bands, to help you stay out of those. Alright, we just stopped out on that. That was a 36 tick stop, is what I have on this. Okay, so that pretty much wiped out all the gains that we had right there. Go back in here. That's not the right one. It's on the Wednesday one. Hang on. This guy right here. So we're actually minus 20 now. 4 trades and 1 stop out. Okay. Now it doesn't really bother me that much because the majority of the trades happened toward the end of the session, but we did just have that 1 stop out right there on that. We wouldn't be negative right now if I'd gotten those last couple of trades that were really nice trades. This one right here. And the NQ one that we had missed a few minutes ago. Let me put a little red arrow on that so I can refer to it later if we want to. Let's see. I don't know. You would have been selling right there. Actually, no, they didn't. Oh, wait a minute. What are we trading here? We're trading... They would have had you short right here. So no, they would have stopped you out just going in the opposite direction. Still would have stopped you out though, I think. That time. See, the arrow has to be all the way outside the band, like that. And so you would have sold the open of that bar. And your stop would have been right about here. So it would have stopped you out pretty much to the tick. Again, it's still a work in progress, but it is pretty good. It's got some things that I'm working on for it because I used some other logic that other people had created, and I incorporated their logic and changed it into my logic and added to it. So now we just have to wait for another trade setup. That was a valid trade there, and that one just stopped us out pretty much at the tick. Crap, I didn't even notice. It's got a short right here. Alright. Well, the last one did go into profit some right there. It went into profit like 13 or 14 ticks. Now that 13 or 14 ticks is not enough to get the stop to break even. Okay. I'm using the 31 range. That's what I'm using, right? 31 range. So it's going to go 16 ticks into profit. Right. And I actually have a 50 tick target. 36 tick stop is what I'm using on it. I have, John. I have. The diamond trade, this trade in here, and these trades here should not be used with the bands, really. They should not be. Okay. So here on the ES right now, we are looking for a shorting opportunity. Okay, that's what we're looking for. They're both just about, you know, this one right here, if it gives us a fade right here, it's got to close up and give us a fade. The NQ just went to plus 4 ticks. Okay, I guess I should probably lock something in. It doesn't seem like enough, but okay, well, that did give us a little bit more. I don't think that we're positive on it. Oops, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Just used to that one. Nope, we're still minus 4. 5 trades. Okay, well, we're a little closer. Alright, so that was this short right here. There was a question I was right in the middle. That's okay, Wayne. Alright, so now we're just waiting here right now. Alright, waiting for something else to set up. So we missed that trade. We missed that trade. Both really good trades. We stopped out on that one. We took some profit on that one. We took some profit on 2 other ones, I think. Small trades. But we're, Wayne, just to give you an update, we're negative right now just a little bit. Just below break even right now. So what I went over so far was the clean BREV, the full display BREV, this trade right here. There was another one right here, that trade right there, and there was one that we stopped out on somewhere. This one right here we stopped out on. I'm not sure why that was a trade. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's just wait for the trades to set up. What am I using on in the middle? The trades are the same. These two, they trigger at the same time. This one just obviously shows when it triggers. This one kind of gives you a little heads up. That's why I'm having this down here. William, I'm Philip. Sorry, William. Nolan. I was calling you 3 different things. Philip. The reason I have this down here is so that you can see a little bit ahead of time when you might get a trade set up. When everything's all on one side, if I have the inverse on there, when everything's all on one side, you're likely to have a trade set up on the following bar. Okay, so when you see something like this coming along, there's a good chance you're going to have a trade set up on the following bar. Right? Because when it flips, when price closes in the opposite direction, that's when it's going to trigger it. Okay, and Wayne these, Kurt, to answer your question, sometimes the gray arrow doesn't produce a black arrow next. Sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't do it on every single one. It's got to meet certain criteria, Kurt. It doesn't do it on every one because it just doesn't meet the criteria on every one, especially if you have kind of dragged out time between them, between the gray arrows. Okay, there are certain things that have to happen for it to print the black arrow. It's not just an up close. There's other things that go into it too that filter it out. So Wayne, I have the scalp tool on over here, right? Now within the scalp tool, there are these 4 different things you can do. So this one is the fade. This one right here is the scalp. This one on the bottom is the be reversal display all, and the one on the top right here is the be reversal clean. Now these two produce the same trade, okay? But I just wanted you to be able to see all the information that's there for you for the trade setup. No, so it's not valid as a trade then, Kurt. Nope. If you don't get the black arrow, it's not a trade. Okay. So I mean, you can be proactive and put your order on there ahead of time, but if when the bar closes, it doesn't turn out to have a black arrow on it, you probably want to get out of that. Okay. What I'm talking about is on the swing trade. Sometimes you'll have a gray arrow with no black arrow. Okay, you had that gray arrow, and the next one didn't close up. It didn't give you another gray arrow either. It didn't close down. I mean, you were looking for a down close. It didn't close down, but it didn't give you another gray arrow either. Sometimes that's going to happen, and sometimes you'll have a gray arrow like this guy right here, where it did close up, but it still didn't give you the gray arrow. And there's just certain criteria that have to be met. So if you had your buy stop limit order waiting at the top of that bar, it still worked out just fine for you, but there was something that fell apart in the logic behind that it didn't print the black arrow. Okay, this one right here. See, something fell apart in the logic right here that it didn't print the black arrow. It didn't print another gray arrow, and it didn't print a black arrow there. That means it failed to meet all the criteria for the black arrow. Okay. It does happen. It doesn't happen that often. I just showed you a few of them. So no, it's not valid. Not a valid trade to take then. If you don't have a black arrow, you don't have a trade. If you're using the swing trade stuff. Okay, and all the regular swing trade stuff is built into here. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, some of you, I mean, there's a good group of people in here today, and you might not have been there in last week's meeting. In last week's meeting, I showed you some other feature that I added to the swing trade. You know, when I showed you the alerts originally, to put an alert on the trade originally, you just had to go to alert like this, then choose swing trade and leave it at any alert function call. Go in here and change message around to be whatever you want it to be. Put your notifications on wherever you want to put your notifications on. That's all you had to do before. But I added a new feature. If you only want to be told on a swing trade when you're getting a long opportunity, you can do that. Or if you only want to be told on a swing trade when you're getting a short opportunity, you can do that. And you can turn off the notices too. You can turn off the gray arrows too. Alright, so when you put the alert on now, this is optional. You can still leave it as any alert function call. That's what it is by default. That's what it is by default. But you can come in here and put it on just these guys. And so you only get an alert. When you do this, you have to choose this information here. You want to do it once per bar close, alright? Choose once per bar close. Then you're going to go in here and put your message in. It puts in a default message for you, TVT swing by open. That means this is a black arrow. Swing by open means it's a black arrow that closed down. Alright, so it's going to give you this to buy at the open of the next bar. You can have your notifications set up however you want to be notified. Okay. You can do it for the notification to let you know this is the gray arrow. This is a gray arrow. I'm sorry, not the actual alert. The notice is the gray arrow. The buy notice, that is a gray arrow. So in the message, it says likely on up close of the next bar. Okay. So that gives you the information, that puts the message out there for you. You can change it if you want to. You can, but you have to do the once per bar close on this when you're using range bars. Okay. So those are the different options that you have inside here. You have one of those each for the buy. Turn on the gray arrow and the black arrow for the buy. and turn on the gray and black arrow for the cell. You can do them individually if you want to. That was a feature that I added in. For Jeff in Dublin. Alright, so when you use the fade on the ES7 range to get the signals, when you change to clean, you get a different signal. Is that correct? Yes, the fade and the clean are different signals. That's why I have them separated in here. Alright, you see right here on this bar. Oh, this isn't in Q, but they're definitely different signals. Okay. This tells you exactly what to do. There's just a little bit of ambiguity in these. You know, you might not always notice the fade. Like this one right here, you might not have noticed that little fade right there. Okay. That didn't happen at the right time. It didn't fade enough or something. There was one feature that I showed you. If you go here, click on that, go to data window, you see the angle. When the angle increases, that's what it increases as it crosses over the 85, I think, is what triggers the fade. There's one more criteria in there, I forgot what it was. Can't remember off the top of my head, but there's another criteria in there that will stop you from getting a trade every now and then. Okay, so this is all above 0 right here on this one. See, everything's above 0, so the down close of this bar is likely to trigger a trade. Okay, that's what this information tells you. If you don't have that on, then all you have is this flat bar, and you're just waiting. Just waiting to see if it goes down or if it goes up. Right, so the most likely thing right now, because everything's on the top side, is it's going to go down. It's going to go down, and it's going to suggest buying the open of the next bar. Okay? It's up to you, Wayne. They all give good results. There's just which ones give you cleaner signals. The cleanest signal is this one right here. Okay, that's one that's easiest to see. And you use this stuff to see a lead up to that, so you can get ready for it, kind of. Alright. These, I mean, they're great signals. They work great. But you gotta wait till the bar closes to know that it's gonna happen. Okay, see, that went down too far. The black went too far, so that ended up being no signal there. And now the red is on the top, and those are on the bottom, so the next bar is not going to be a trade either. Alright, I know that ahead of time right now. Alright. I am going over here to make sure that I answered everybody's questions. Philip, I have to send you something. I have that over here. Let me see if I can just do that before I forget right now. Philip, are you monthly? I think you're monthly, right? That's what I thought. I didn't think you were weekly. Hang on. Go here. Now, I am just going to send you the welcome email, Philip, okay? It's got all the links in it. Okay, I know you've been monthly for a while, but the easiest way to get you all the links is just send you that. Alright, so it's 3:27, and we're actually down a little bit right now. Right? Oops, I keep looking at the wrong thing. Why do I keep doing that? It's down here. This is the guy. After 5 trades, we're at -4 ticks. Wait. Okay. The NQ game is short. Here it is. Okay. So, let me undo this over here. And see, now just a little bit of black went up right there. You see just a tiny bit of black went up with the blue. So we're going to wait this out now and let that work itself into something good. And the other two don't have anything right now. And I don't think either one of them is going to give us a trade here on the current bar. Okay. Could I go over the diamond on the NQ with the blue on top and the red below? We're about to stop out on this. Oops, and I just disconnected. Let me reconnect. The diamond with the NQ with blue on top and the red below. You mean like this one right here? Okay, it's coming around now. This one right here? When you get something like this, you know, you want to sell the open of the next bar. This is the divergence that I talked about when I originally did this. On setting up the DOM for doing this, Bob? On my DOM? I have all this stuff all set up for you if you're using the Sierra DOM. But as far as the actual brackets go and stuff like that, yes, all that stuff is available. If you go to targetviewtrades.com, it's all right here on the home page. Right here on the home page. Okay. At targetviewtrades.com. Okay, but actually setting up the DOM and all that, I have videos for how to set up the Sierra DOM too. It's in that that Telegram channel I gave a little while ago, the link to. But you gotta have the Sierra DOM. This is gonna stop me out. I think it just went up really quickly. I think it's gonna hit me. We'll see. Yep, it did. Okay. So this is actually a 36 tick stop that I have on this. So that was a 36 tick stop. So let me put that in this guy. Okay, so we're now at minus 40 on this. That's our biggest deficit that we've had so far in this session. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. We still have a lot of time left for trading in here. Let me go back there and is in here. This is 6 and 2. Okay. Alright. I don't remember which one that was. I think it was. I didn't stop out on that. I don't think I stopped out on this earlier. So they're both short trades that I stopped out on. It's about to give a swing trade short here. That's what the gray arrow means. The gray arrow means if we get a down close on this bar, it's going to give a swing trade short. Okay. How do you separate the two bottom indicators? I just put two of them on, John, individually. Okay. What I did, like this one over here right now that has a scalp tool on it. I didn't notice that these two happened right here. But this one right here that has a scalp tool on it, you can change this to be the B rev, right? Undo the fade, change it to be the B rev, say okay, and then just put another one on down there with it. And and the other one, hang on, and the other one, you can change it to be the B rev display all, like that. Okay, that's how I did it individually. Now this is the fade right here. Okay, well that was the fade is what I had on it anyway. I know the B rev gave us a trade there. It did. It did give us a trade. Here, let's make it back to the fade. Shut that off. Turn that back on. There's the fade. Okay, and just take that off right now. Alright, so the swing trade is in profit right now, and it's at plus 4 ticks. Okay, what it should do is make it all the way down here to 35.25. That's what it should do, but I think it just took me out with 4 ticks. It did. This, using the B-Rev, was actually a long trade here a minute ago on the ES. The ES is trying to get up to numbers up above 82.75. I think is the high of the day is up at 82.25. It's trying to get through that up to 82.75. Okay. So let me go put 4 more little ticks in here right now. Minus 36 on this. So, as we get into the last 15 minutes of the trading session here, you're going to see a lot more trades triggering in here. I believe the ES from the B-Rev trade, the ES just went enough to get the stop to break even. Okay, lock in 2 ticks on that. That was this one right here. I had that on. Okay. It should go up and hit all this stuff all the way up to here right now. It should go all the way up there. Now we have our 2 ticks locked in on it. So I'm going to slide this off to the side. I'm actually going to lock in a little bit more now that we have some more. Lock in 4 ticks on it. Oops, that's 5. Well, 4 ticks is what I wanted. Once it breaks through here, it should quickly go up to here. Okay. But we have 4 ticks locked in on it for right now. There it goes. Okay, that's 8. So I'm going to take 10. It should keep going up from here, but we now have 10 on the ES. Right? Do I have that in the wrong column? I do have this in the wrong column. This is supposed to be NQ. Oops. Well, that's going to make a big difference. This is the NQ column. Right, the stopouts I've had have not been on the ES, they've been on the NQ. This is minus 36 on the NQ. That's going to make a big difference. And this, we just picked up 10 ticks there. Okay, so that puts us down only 550. I kept thinking that that was my NQ column, not my ES column. Okay, so we're minus 36 on the NQ. And we're plus 10 on the ES right now. So we're a lot closer to getting back. That was this right here. When I had that showing there for a minute. It had the B-Rev clean on it. Right there, that long trade. Okay, no, I forgot to put the arrows back on this. Arrows and vertical lines. Alright, clean ES7 range, just gave a buy signal. Did it give a... Yeah, that was the one that I just did, Wayne. Are the channel entries based on the mean revision and you target the mid-channel? Shahab, which channel entries are you talking about? This right here? It's looking for outside the channel. I haven't even released that yet. I'm still working on it. I haven't finished working on it. But the idea is to enter when you have a full arrow outside the channel. Okay, you have a full arrow outside the channel. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that either. I meant to do that. And, well, I'll just leave it on for right now so we can watch it. Okay. But you're looking to enter outside the channel. And actually, once you do get an entry outside the channel, it should make it to the other end. Now, the problem with this is it repaints. So that means if you want to go back and see the history, you can't scroll back and see the history. You can crunch it up like this to see the history, but you can't scroll back to see the history, because as soon as you scroll back, it uses a different entry point and it changes the lines. So you can do that, or this is another thing you can do. I mean, you guys don't even have access to it yet, But when you do get access to it, you can do this. You can put it on, say, a 1 minute chart like this, and then you can do replay on a 1 minute chart. So you can go back like this on a 1 minute chart and hit that, and do the replay, and in here you'd be able to see, you know, like that was outside, so you would go along there, and you see it's just running through them all for you. I'll let it replay the whole thing so you can see. This is what it looks like on a 1 minute. Okay. That wasn't outside, so that wouldn't be a trade. That would be right there. That would be a short. And that would be right there. That would be a short. That would be a long. That's nothing. 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 Nothing, nothing. Yeah, we're almost done. It's doing 3 bars a second, so. Nothing. 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 And that's it. So, pretty much everything that we saw there, then that 1 minute span worked. It looks like to me. No, Sid. No, I wasn't looking at anything down there at all when all that was happening. They should not be used together. Not at all. The question was, am I using the scalp tool with the swing tool? And no, they should never be used together. They'll be in opposite directions more often than not. Okay. Any of the scalp tools and the swing tool do not belong together. Will there be more trades using range bars? Not necessarily, John. It depends. It depends how active the markets are. You know, there's no time element associated with range bars. So if the markets are active and volatile, there's going to be a lot more trades with range bars than it will be with like minute bars, or because, you know, with a minute bar, you're only going to have 30 bars a minute no matter what. No matter how active it is, you're only going to have 30 bars a minute. But with a range bar, if it's really volatile, you could have, you know, 1,000 bars in a minute. Or 2, if it's not. You know, so you never know. Excuse me. The NQ just gave a long trade right there, guys. Here it is. Okay, right there. And we'll see where it goes. Okay, and the alright, and the ES just gave a long trade too. So at least they're going in the same direction. This just went to +4. Alright, it's 71.25. Go up there, that's 20. Alright, and it just gave a short. Just followed up with a short. Okay, so we got 20 on the long, and now it followed up with a short. In the meantime, the ES trade just went to break even, and I'm going to lock in 2 ticks on that. Okay. 4 ticks on the ES. So we got 4 on the ES and 20 on the long, and waiting to see what's going to happen here with the short. Okay, so let me go punch that in. This is what I meant by the end of the session. There's usually a lot more trades. So 4 on the ES. On the long. 9 trades altogether now. Okay. Oh, I screwed that up on the ES. Should be 14. That's what I was thinking. Okay, this is minus 16. There we go. Alright, I thought we should be positive. I was like, what the heck? Alright. So we're waiting on your ES. On the ES, clean one bar before gave a long trade before our ES7 range. Okay, so you're saying on the ES7 range, if I had this turned on, this looks like it's going to stop me out again. It's right at the high of the day. It probably is. It's going to go through the high of the day, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I know bar replay is not available on range bars. So what you're saying, Wayne, is that gave a signal. Yeah, it did right there. Gave a long trade right there. Is that a bar before? It was a bar before the other one. That's what you were saying. Okay. It was indeed a bar before it. It just stopped me out. Okay. So we picked up 20 there and we lost 36 there. So the net of all that was minus 16. So this is back at minus 50 now, I think. Okay, that turns to 8. And this number goes up one more to 3. Alright, so what time is it? 3:44. We're at minus 750. We just need a couple of nice trades here. Get us to our normal average. Alright, does anybody have any questions about all this? I'm doing my best to keep up with them all. I missed a couple of really nice trades earlier, but we'll just take what we can as we can. It's now 3:45, so now is when the trading usually really starts to kick in as we get closer to the end of the session. So I'll have to pay more attention to all that. Yes, because I'm teaching and I'm not as focused as I would be, but I'm always in that mode, kind of, Philip. You know, when I'm doing it by myself, I'm not, but I'm still, even when I'm trading by myself, I'm still learning as I'm doing it. Because I'm trying to figure things out. And don't, just pick one, Wayne. Whichever one you want, just pick one. Whatever one's best for you. Okay, so we almost had a trade there. If the black would have gone just a little bit, then we would have had a short right there. I think I haven't looked to see at the end of the session today. Where we are on the day on the ES. Go to the daily on that. Let's see something. On the daily. Where are we ending today? Okay, we're way up at the top on the day. Okay, that's good. What did I have this on? 7 range, right? There we go. I don't know, David. I really just started looking at it. This weekend. You know, Jeff had asked me to look at something. I mean, he showed this thing to me months ago, and I never really had a chance to look at it because I was working on the scalp tool. At the beginning of the weekend, I said, you know what, I'm going to take the weekend off of working on the scalp tool and look at the other things that have been brought to my attention over the past month or two. And so, all right, you have a great Thanksgiving too, Greg. All of you guys, if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving. The next meeting will be on Wednesday, the 3rd of December. Okay, Wednesday, the 3rd of December. That's when it's scheduled for right now. That is correct, right? Yeah, it is the 3rd of December. That is correct. And Ronnie, you'd be sadly disappointed if you come to my house on Thanksgiving. We're not celebrating Thanksgiving We're not telling my father-in-law that it is Thanksgiving. It's just too much to try to do all that and put a whole thing on. Just gonna treat it like another day, except we won't be working. Alright, so yes, that's right, Craig. That is correct. Yep. And again, the things you're looking for with this are the black arrows outside. Now if I expand it like this, and I crunch it up like this without scrolling back, you can see that when it gets the black arrows outside, like that, and like that, and like that, and that, and that, and that, they tend to work out really well. Okay. They do. And it just gave us a long trade right in here that's already gone into profit quite a bit. So over here, bar replay. Wow, guys, that just gapped up and it just gave me a whole bunch. I think it gave me 50 ticks or something like that. I'll tell you in a second what it gave me. I'm reluctant to take that short right there. Let me just go look what it actually gave me there. It actually gave me okay, well, it gave me, oops, that's not what you need to see. It gave me 40 ticks, I think. Here it is, 907 to 107, so it gave me 10 points. There's the slippage that I was referring to earlier. It slipped me quite a bit because it should have given me more than that. But let's get this guy out here. And that puts that at minus 10. 10 points. And that's a 9. So now we're back to positive. And the ES, I'm reluctant to short the ES because I think it wants to go up, but it did give a red arrow right there. Now, the red arrow was from up here at 89, and it's already gone down to 87.50, so it's already gone 6 ticks into profit. If you didn't get it, then you shouldn't try to get it at this point. And that was something Mark was asking me about that the last couple of days. He's been texting me about that sort of thing. Let me explain that to you. Now, the rules for the trade setup are here, right? And so after it goes a certain amount, you trail your stop to break even, right? These are all my rules, trailing to break even. And what I've been doing lately, because the market is so volatile, I've been doing to break even plus a tick, and in most of the brackets I've been doing to break even plus a tick, or some of them, like the NQ, I'm doing break even plus 4 ticks. But the ES, today the Russell, and the YM, I was doing break even plus a tick on. Gold, I had been doing break even plus a tick. The ES, I was doing just break even because I was only going after 4 ticks in profit, but the others are going after 5 ticks in profit. Now the question was, if you get into a trade and you don't get in right at the exact entry, like on this ES trade right here, if you didn't get in there at the exact entry and price had already gone 6 ticks into profit, it's too late to try to take that trade. because it had gone to the point where it would have moved your stop to break even, right? So it was too late to try to take that trade at that point. Alright, so you gotta wait for the next trade. And if there's any question in your mind about it, just don't take the trade. Just don't take the trade. It's that simple. Okay. Alright, so I'm just waiting now for more trade opportunities. I didn't take that. If I would have taken that, I would have gotten probably 1 or 2 ticks on it, if I would have taken it. Okay, do I not have any arrows on this? I guess I don't, do I? Turn them on. Oh, I do have one. We just haven't had any trades over there. And that was the last trade we had way back there. Okay. Okay, so you know what I haven't gone over at all in this in this session is how to take the free trial and all that stuff. Well, it's in all the emails and all that stuff. I can show it to you, but if you haven't taken the free trial and you want to, go here to tvtrades.com, sign up for the trial there. Alright, click on any one of these orange things. It's going to bring you down to the bottom. Sign up for whatever one you want. This, on an annual basis, this is the cheapest one. 30% cheaper than this one, 30.7%. This is 20.7% cheaper than that one. So this is 10% cheaper than that, which is 20% cheaper than that. But this is the cheapest one to get into, obviously. This video, because this is being recorded, at the end of all this video is going to be here. If you go to the home page at targetviewtrades.com, just go to the home page at targetviewtrades.com. I have made a little bit of a change where this right here is my playlist. So all the latest videos are going to be here on the playlist. Alright, but I also stick it here to upcoming and past webinars. I'm just going to change that to past webinars because I'm going to stop putting the upcoming information in here. This one will be right here. Past webinars, it'll be right here. Okay? And next week's webinar, you'll be able to sign up for it here. I just have to hit one button to make that switch to next week's webinar. You'll be able to sign up for it right there. Okay? I hadn't gone over all that stuff yet. So we're positive pretty good right now. We're positive. Wrong one. Again, I keep looking at the wrong one. This one. Okay, we're positive pretty good. We're up $1,250 right now. Now that last one, that should have been a 50 tick gain, but I only got 40. That was the slippage that I was talking about earlier. That happened to me earlier today. Okay, it went from where was it? 97 up to 107, so it went 10 points is what it gave me. 10 points, 40 ticks. And my target was at 50. So that was right here. So it gapped up, hit me, and pulled back just as fast as it went up. Okay, and the ES has a trade right here that just triggered. And it hasn't gone 4 ticks into profit yet, so if you want to jump on it now, that has pulled back a little bit, pull back to the entry point, then you can jump into it here right now. That is pulled back to the entry point if you want to. We're running into the end of the day right here. If it's going to make a run at the high of the day, the high is right here. Okay, it's going to make a run for it. So here it is. I don't know if it bumped my stop yet, did it? Yeah, it did bump my stop to break even, and it just took me out of break even. Okay, gray arrow here. So that's another trade. Let me put that in here. 10. Okay, gray arrow. Alright. Enjoy your holiday too, Sid. Another gray arrow. You needed an up close. If you had the up close, it would have been a black arrow. More than likely, it would have been a black arrow. Okay. And we're going to have conflicting signals here, probably. If we get an up close on this, actually, no, it's going to give us a black arrow long, and this could give us, this down here could give us a short. So This is what I mean about you shouldn't do them together, because the swing trade on an up close is probably going to give a black arrow long, while this is probably going to give a short at the same time. Okay, it's 3:58, so maybe we'll run out of time before that happens. Sierra has any sales you know about? No, Sid. Sierra's, it's $36 a month. You need Service Pack 10. It's $36 a month. Then you got to pay for the exchange fees through them, which can be as low as $2 or as high as $39. I pay the $39 because I get depth of market, and you get really good depth of market with it too. You know, you get like all of this depth of market, where normally you would get like 10 spaces. So that's what the Sierra costs for me. You know, and my broker actually charges me $10 a month on top of that, plus 10 cents a side on top of that. But that is still a lot. I mean, I love the Sierra Dom, so the $10 a month is worth having the Sierra Dom. But the $10 and the 10 cents a side is still half of what they used to charge me. So it's still a steal compared to what it used to be. Okay. Now look. We didn't get the conflicting arrows here, but we did get an up arrow there for the swing trade. I'm not doing that right now because we are so close to the end of the session. We only have a half a minute left. So I'm just gonna let it go. John. On each side. But I trade a lot of contracts. Alright. So, we're just about to run out of time here. And there it is. We ran out of time. There's a long trade right here on the ES. I am so tempted to jump on that. But the markets are shut down. Well, the stock markets are closing right now. Right, the futures markets are open for another hour. But anyway, let's just go in here for a minute. So today, I'm looking at the wrong one again. Okay, here we go. For today, we're up $1,250. We're minus 10 on the NQ overall, plus 14 on the S overall. We took 10 trades with 3 stop outs, so we're at 70% today, I believe. Yep, 70% today. So it wasn't a great day in the session, but as I said when I started the whole thing, yeah, you said per side, so that's what it is per side, John. But as I said when I started the whole thing, it hasn't been easy trading the last couple of days. Well, this week so far. The ES trade is working out pretty well right now. Well, this ES trade right here was working out pretty well. I took it, but I told you guys I wasn't going to because I didn't think I was going to have time to carry it out. I won't count that. It's just 4 ticks. But if you haven't taken a free trial, take the free trial now. I'll get your stuff going for you today. Today, I'll get your stuff going. In about an hour, this video is going to be posted out here at targetviewtrades.com. Okay, at targetviewtrades.com. You go here to tvtrades.com to take the trial. tv-trades.com to take the trial there. Alright, and so we had some pretty good trades in here. We had some not so good trades. We had this one right here that was the last long trade. We had this one right here that was the last long trade for the swing. Now this one, if you're using the bands, you wouldn't have taken that trade. You would have filtered that one out. Still working on it though. Okay. Alright. Let me stop the recording right now. Thank you all for coming.